Okay, welcome to the first training session of PYTHA. In this training session, we'll be covering the user interface of PYTHA. So once this will be the screen that you see, because it's the PYTHA Central. Okay, this is a central screen that you'll see when you launch PYTHA. So over here, is where we can change the language of PYTHA. Okay, you can see that we do have a couple of language available for you to use. So one thing to note, you can only change your language in the central, which is this menu that you see. Okay, if you have launched PYTHA in the model mode or other or radio lab mode, then you will need to exit to change the languages. Okay, so the other one I would like to highlight is called model, our model menu over here. Okay, this will be the menu that you can look at when you want to find out more about PYTHA. Okay, it is like the Bible of PYTHA. Everything about it is inside there. So another thing I would like to highlight will be the release training menu. It is a good reading material for you to kickstart on understanding PYTHA and how to use it. There's also release tips and tricks. Okay, these are maybe you have been using PYTHA for a while now. You think you're confident and you want to find out, are there any things that you can do to smoothen your process. So you can have a read on the tips and tricks over here. This is the one that helps you in getting things done faster. Okay, so without further ado, we also have we will launch model. Okay, model is where you do your 3D modeling and also your production. Okay, radio lab is the one that we do for presentation and our VR walkthrough. Okay, so we'll launch. Click on the model and we'll launch PYTHA. Okay, what you see here is in the middle is what we call the 4 views. Okay, so you can see we have the front, side, top, and axonometry, and you can actually change between these views by clicking over here. Okay, click on the XY and you can see that this is top view over here. And if you're not sure what you're looking at, you can actually put your mouse over it and they can tell you what view is it. So you can change it to front view by clicking it again, and you can change it to the side view by clicking it again over here. And you can see that it changes. Okay, that shows you that this is a side view. Okay, last but not least, let's go to the axonometry view. Okay, exo view is the one that you do your modeling in. So this is the default screen that you should be using. All right, and let me introduce you to the menus over here. Okay, these are the functions that you have on PYTHA on the top column over here. All right, and you can see that this column over here is actually the same as your right hand side, the menu over here. What happened is that we have customer feedback to us that they do not quite they would prefer to have words rather than just icons alone. So we have pulled up the whole menu and put it over here for easy referencing. Okay, so you can see that we also have a tree, a project tree over here. The project tree actually gives you all the parts that you have when doing a project, and you can actually switch it on and off by clicking on the tree over here. Okay, so the other thing I'd like to highlight, we also have a library. Okay, by switching on, you can see that my library appears here, and you can switch it off by clicking on the hook button. So when you are using PYTHA, you can actually create your own library for your own use. So that's when you can actually pull out maybe a carcass or cabinet from your default drawing, and you can help you in building your project faster. Alright, so let me next one I want to show you is the command line. Okay, at this bottom right hand corner is what we call the command line. Okay, so PYTHA do not have a dialog box to ask you things to do. So what we have is we have a command line where you can actually do all your what PYTHA wants you to do. So what happens is that sometimes you may be lost in executing a command, and PYTHA actually can remind you what is the step-by-step process by using the command line at the bottom here. Okay, so next we have the unit of measurement. Okay, that will be your model will be in, and also the drawing scale over here. So for training, we'll use 1:15 by default, and we also have layers. Okay, layers is one very important function that you can look to explore when you are doing a blueprint of a house. So you can actually use, for example, layer 1 for your living room, layer 2 for kitchen, and layer 3 for the bedrooms. So in this way, you can actually model your for example, your cabinets and stuff, and separate them in different layers. So when you are doing your modeling, you will not be seeing too many cluttered items on your blueprint. But what you can do is you can isolate your kitchen drawings, you can isolate your living room drawings, and you can also isolate your bedroom drawing just by using layers. Alright, so this is what we have at the bottom of the interface. And I also want to highlight on our environment. Okay, so some of you may be very used to this function called a reverse zoom button or reverse zoom direction. So over here we do have a reverse zoom direction if you really like to use a reverse zoom. So if not, just click it off, because most of the users, most people would have more inclination when the reverse zoom direction is off. Okay, so keep it off and click OK. And now I'm going to orientate you with regards to how to use your mouse. Okay, left click, okay, is to select your parts or things that you want to do, and then we have the middle mouse, the scroll button. So what I want you to do is you can scroll your mouse now. So you can see that there is a zooming effect. So we use our scroll mouse to zoom in our modeling. Okay, next thing, using the same button, okay, the middle mouse, click it, hold it down, and you can move your mouse around. What you can do now is that you realize that you're moving the whole plane and panel around. Okay, this is how you can actually move things around. And lastly, the right click button. Okay, I want you to right click and hold down the button and move your mouse around. So what you are doing now is you are rotating the model around based on where you are holding. Okay, so if you want to rotate your model, right click, hold it down, and you can spin your mouse. Okay, so there's a little trick here I want to teach you. Okay, you can double click on your left button, and you can see that PYTHA relocate and put everything in the middle for you. Okay, so one more thing I want to show you is what we call the how you can adjust your interface, okay, on your view. So you can see over here that I have drawn a block, and you can see that over here the edges is on. Okay, let me demonstrate what does this edges, solid, and shadow means, and shaded as well. Okay, when you see that it's plus, it means it's on. Okay, so and you click it once, you can see the blue lines disappears, and you click one more time, it's on. So this is what the edges do. Okay, it gives you the outline of the edges. And then you also have the solid. Okay, when I click on it, you can see that over here the back of the drawings appears. So what happens when you off the solid minus, it turns a solid into a transparent object. Okay, and when we do shaded and we keep it on, when we do shaded, you can see, okay, the changes is big. What happens is that PYTHA no longer shades a surface for you. Okay, when you off it, when solid is minus. And shadow, you can see that shadow, there's a shadow over here. So for our training, I advise client to edges plus, solid plus, shaded plus, shadow minus. Okay, so this is the user interface that we have for you in the first training session of PYTHA. Thank you.